Hey everyone, I just wanted to do a quick update on my M4 and take you for a quick spin in a loaner car that I've got, which is the BMW 320 Xi, which is pretty much the low end of the BMW range here in the US. But yeah, it turns out, back to my M4, it turns out that flashing airbag light that I had when I picked it up was a problem, and so it's been returned to the dealer and they've got it for a couple of days while they sort that out. No big deal. These things happen. It's seems that everyone else is freaking out about it more than I am. Teething problems. It'll be fine. Some of my friends are going, "Oh, Nick, you're cursed. Every car you got is going to break down." It's not the case. Well, it's true that I may have pissed off the car gods at some point, because just before and I think I can pinpoint it the moment that I pissed off the car gods, just before I sold my E92 BMW, I went and put Night Rider lights on the front and a big fake spoiler on the back. And I think if anything's going to piss off the car gods, that sort of behavior will do it. So maybe I need to, I don't know, give them a sacrifice or something. Maybe I'll buy a Toyota Corolla and burn it, or I don't know. What do you do to sacrifice to the car gods to fix your problems with your car? Anyway, yeah, I'm not too worried. In fact, it reminds me that when I picked up my E92 6 or 7 years ago, it also had a problem direct from the factory, a more serious problem than the airbag problem. One of the electronic dampeners failed the day that I picked it up, and I had to take it back to the dealer, and they kept it for a week because they had to take all four wheels off, replace all four dampeners, which they had to get in from Germany, and give me the car back. And at the time I was a bit, I just spent $85,000 on that M3, and I was thinking, oh, is this the start of something bad? But no, I kept that car for 5 years. 5 years of problem-free motoring, and that car went back and forth across the country 4 times. It was driven by all my friends in all sorts of conditions. I mean, we thrashed that poor BMW M3, and it was solid as a rock. So I'm confident that the M4 is going to be solid as a rock as well. Not so much other people. Some people are not so impressed. I've got a comment here from Sound Collector, who writes, "Sorry, Nick. Your problem stories are becoming ridiculous. Subscription deleted." I'm sorry to lose you, Sound Collector, from the Nick Murray YouTube channel, but maybe you'll return when you find out that the M4 is going to be just fine. Another comment comes from Felix Wallen, who writes, "First time driving your BMW and you start driving like a twit instantly." Well, I think that's true of all BMW drivers. It's just being in a BMW, you have to drive like a jerk. Internet's 321 writes, "When will we see a roof rack mounted on that bad boy?" Well, disappointment there. Turns out there are the flaps for mounting a roof rack on the M4, but when I looked inside, there's no mounting bolt. That is, no bolt for the roof racks to go in, and I guess that's because I have the carbon fiber roof, and so the bolts can't go into the carbon fiber. The reason why that's a disappointment is because I had the roof racks on my previous car, the 911, and basically turned that poor 911 into a family minivan. I had furniture on top of that thing. I traveled around with my bikes and bits of wood and all sorts of things. I even had kayaks and boats on top of there. And boy, that upset a lot of people. Just, how can you do that to your 911? How can you treat it that way? But it was fine. In fact, it was a lot of fun, because it meant that I could have a sports car and have a car that was useful for a lot of other things as well. And so, I pretty much just ignored everyone that was so upset with me doing that type of thing to a 911. Especially other 911 owners, they were pretty upset as well. But yeah, no, so unfortunately none of that nonsense will be going on with the M4, which is fine. The M4 is a similar size to my previous M3, which you've got the folding rear seats and there's plenty of room inside, so I can carry my stuff around inside it. It'll be fine. And final comment for today comes from JSN Park, who writes, "You think Yaz Marina is disgusting. You went full retard." What JSN Park is talking about is Yas Marina is the light blue color on the new M4, and I do think it's disgusting. But it's subjective, you know, everyone's got their opinions on colors, and I'm a big fan of blue cars. My last 4 or 5 cars have been blue cars, and my E30 BMW in New Zealand is a light blue car, so I really wanted to like the blue in the BMW, because, you know, I would get another blue car, being as boring as I am. But yeah, there's lots of pictures on the internet of those press release M3s that are floating around in that color, and it's not for me. Maybe when I see one in real life, I'll like it a lot more, and maybe even regret the color choice I got, but I doubt it. You know, everyone seems to like the orange that I got. It seems to be a great combination. And I got it without even seeing it. You know, I saw pictures of it, but there was no M4s or M3s in that color in the country when I ordered it. So I ordered it a little bit on faith, and when I saw it in real life, I was, you know, oh, this is a great color. It's really good. So I'm pleased with the color that I got, and I'm sure that everyone that gets the Yas Marina blue will be pleased with that color as well. You don't have to listen to me, that's for sure. So on to the quick drive and review of the 320xi. As I said before, or mentioned before, it's the bottom of the line. It's pretty much the cheapest 3 or 4 series you can get here in the States. In fact, this particular loaner that I've got has only 2 cost options on it. No, not true. It's the XI, so it's including the 4-wheel drive. It's got 3. The 4-wheel drive is a $2,000 option, and I think the reason the dealer got that option is because here in New England we've got snow 4 or 5 months a year, and so it's pretty hard to sell a car unless you've got 4-wheel drive. The other 2 options that are on this car are the heated front seats, which is $500. Once again, because of the weather here in New England, heated seats is a pretty much a must-have, or a very desirable option at least. And the other option, which I'm not sure that I would have gone with if I was looking for a budget model, was the power seats with memory, which is $950. I think I probably would have spent that $950 on one of the other options, maybe the leather or something like that. But yeah, all the other bits, the leather, the paint, the trim inside, all of those are the free option models, and I'll take you over those when I walk around the car. So the total cost of that car is in the $35,000 range, which is pretty reasonable for a 3 Series BMW. And as you see, it's actually amazing how much equipment you get on a base model BMW these days. You know, it really, it's all you need. It's a lot of fun to drive, and it's got a lot of basic equipment that makes it you know, as good as a near top of the line car from 5 or 6 years ago. So yeah, it's a neat little car, and I'm glad to get the opportunity to drive it for a few days, and then I'll be back to my M4. Anyway, so on with taking a look at that car, and if you've got any questions about the 320 or again my M4, which I'll have back in a couple of days, pop them in the comments below, and we'll get on with the review. Thanks for watching. Bye then. Let's start by taking a quick look at the outside. From the front, you can see that it has the fog lights, which are standard. It has the 17-inch 5-spoke alloy wheels with the run-flat tyres. The wheels look fine. I mean, it would look better with 18 or 19-inch wheels, but they still look fine. From the back, you can see that the one exhaust gives away what model it is. When there's 2 exhausts, it's a 328, and when there's an exhaust on either side, it's a 335, and of course when there's 4 exhausts, it's an M3 or an M4. Otherwise, there's not much to say about the outside. The colour is the non-metallic Alpine white, one of only 2 free colours, the other one being the non-metallic jet black. Okay, we're about to take the 320xi for a spin. But before we do, I just wanted to walk around a couple of the standard features. As I mentioned before, you know, what impresses me is that these days you get so many standard features on these cars that you know, you can buy the most basic model like this one is and still get a great car. Some of the things that I noticed is that this car now comes standard with an 8-speed transmission, 180 horsepower engine, you know, Nice handling, as you'll see. 17-inch alloys, standard these days. The steering wheel has the buttons on it, which is all standard. What else? I've got the little cheat sheet here. Climate control, dual climate control is standard. Mirrors, electric windows, dynamic cruise control, all standard. Decent radio is standard. ABS has been standard for a long time. Airbags, lots of airbags. But just lots of toys. The auto wipers, the auto rain sensing wipers are standard. The start and stop button is now standard. You get a lot of options that you used to have to pay for 10 years ago. Standard in these cars now, and even the iDrive is pretty good. I personally prefer. My favourite interface is the Audi MMI system. I think they really have nailed that. And I even don't mind the Volkswagen ones. The BMW ones are sometimes they can be a little cumbersome to use, but they're getting better. They're not like the ones from the early 2000s. Those iDrives are terrible. Yeah. So anyway, I'm pretty impressed with the standard levels of trim. The actual options in this car, this aluminum look plastic trim is pretty nasty to touch, but looks pretty good. The leatherette seats, which I think what do BMW call them? Select something or other. Anyway, they're the sort of vinyl leatherette seats. Surftronic, what is it? Anyhow, who knows? Anyway, yeah. So they're the leatherette. And they look like leather, and they generally feel like leather. I think most people would think they're leather, and apparently they wear very, very well. I find them a little sweaty sometimes. They can be hot, a lot hotter than leather. They don't breathe as well as leather, but they look good. I think the standard BMW leather isn't that good anyway. It's quite hard leather. So why spend $2,000 or $3,000 when these leatherette seats pretty much do the job as well. So it's a nice place to be in here. It's a nice comfortable place. I find the steering wheel's a little hard. The leatherette on the steering wheel could be a little softer, but it's a nice certainly a nice car to drive regardless of that, and it's very responsive. So we'll take it for a spin. I'll show you how it performs. Okay, let's get going. Okay, let's roar up onto the motorway here. As you can see, it's got a fair bit of pull to it. And the engine sounds pretty good for a 4-cylinder. And because I'm driving a BMW, I'm driving like an idiot. Of course. But no, it corners flat. It handles well. It's a great car to drive, that's for sure. I was a little skeptical when these 8-speed autos came out that that was too many gears, but I don't find them searching for gears too much. It's quick to change, and it's quick to find the right the right cog for the situation you're in. So I like them. It's such a nice highway cruiser. It's so quiet in here. And it's such a stable and predictable car to drive, that's for sure. Even cornering at high speed like I'm doing here, it stays pretty flat and it's pretty predictable. This car's got all-weather tyres on it, so they're not the best tyres, but it's a confidence-inspiring car to drive, that's for sure. A lot of people were sad to see the inline sixes go from these lower-end cars, but the 4-cylinder turbos are so much more efficient, and they give you a little bit more torque. So they're a fun car to drive still. The engine's a nice engine. I've had a few 4-cylinder turbos in my time, and they're always nice, torquey, fun engines to drive. These base model low-end BMWs are still a very, very nice car, and still put a decent amount of performance in your hands, and give you a nice, it's a pretty luxurious car to sit in. It's a very, very nice place to be. So yeah. Anyway, thanks again for watching this very, very short review. I only have the car for a couple of days, so I can't really get to know it in depth, but I've certainly been surprised with how much I enjoy driving it, and I think anyone thinking of getting a 320 or a 325 certainly won't be disappointed, or the 420 for that matter. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.